Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Toyota Juniors for race 1 at DGT Seaside, and joining us on commentary, it's Raymond. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing very well. How's yourself?
Doing absolutely fantastic-wasticky. I don't know what that means, but anyway.
A wee bit wonky donkey.
Definitely wonky donkey. Okay, so the car's being used here is the Toyota Grmn. And the first race is at Dragon Trail Seaside. Ray, would you like to take us through the grid this week? Start thinking, oh God, what's he done?
Yep. As we can see, as it's panned round, we've got SGP in first place, and then Demon R second, and then Steve F1 third, Jason fourth, and then Dave the Harp fifth, SRI sixth, Bob seventh. Who's that? I can't see who that is. Gary eighth, ninth is Rich, and 10th is Jimmy.
Yep.
Where's my pedals?
Wow. Okay, we're at 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go.
That took a while there to catch any drivers out.
I can't do that any longer. So, Demon with a decent start up alongside SGP. You were right, though. It was quite a long hold on the lights, wasn't it? Or Demon takes the lead. Or does he?
Yeah, did the start catch out SGP a wee bit there to get a wee bit slow, but Jason has got Steve F1 into the second corner. Steve F1's going a wee bit backwards. Dave the Harp's on his backside now.
Absolutely, and we've got Bob and Rich side by side. You may see a few sort of different liveries on a few of the drivers in this championship. A few of the drivers changing their I was going to say natural colour, but that's not the right word. It's the regular colours. Like Steve F1, he's gone for the green Aston Martin, not the light blue. And we've got Rich going for more yellow than black. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the drivers get on. Now, this car around this track, very interesting, but we don't have tyre wear, we don't have fuel usage on in this championship. It's just an all-out war to the end, and it isn't a dirty championship, is it, Ray? Everyone's got to properly drive.
Yeah, yep. All the Dynamic GT rules apply.
That they do.
So as we see, Steve F1 up the inside, Jason, sorry, SRI caught my eye. He was slow out that hairpin.
He was, yeah. I also think Gary was as well. I think Gary may have collected Bob. Oh, Demon a little slow there. SGP right up his trumpet. Someone's in the barrier, in the bomb hole on the pack cam. Couldn't quite tell who that was. Rich, he's being passed now by Bob. It's SGP having a look up the inside into the final corner. Now, one of the things the guys can do here, Ray, because there is no tyre wear, they kind of are free to sort of push the limits of the tyres, aren't they? Because although they can overheat them or cool them down, they can't really damage them, can they?
No, you'll just lose a wee bit of grip.
A wee bit of grip gone, man.
If you overheat them too much. And then we also have weather.
Yeah. Well, with the weather, with the weather, as far as...
What the fuck is up with you today?
I don't know. Actually, I do know. I've had a nice long nap of about 4 hours. So I'm in quite a happy, jovial, silly mood.
Dave the Harp having a wee look, cheeky look at Jason.
He was, wasn't he?
Couldn't get there. So let's see if he goes through the S-bends.
He's not going to do it there. He's not going to be able to. Also, Ray, I had a new neck brace fitted last week. I haven't looked back since.
A new what?
Neck brace.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I haven't looked back since.
Did it keep you looking forward?
It did. It keeps me focused.
You don't want to look back?
Looking
over
back.
Your shoulder.
No, definitely not. Don't want to see who's back there. Okay, Dave, having another look at Jason, can't quite get it done. Now, one of the things that we may see, someone went a little bit deep there. One of the things we may see is I don't think it's going to be easy for the guys to overtake around this track, even for those a little bit further back with some of the boot. Oh, Demon R got himself a little bit out of shape. That puts SGP all over him. And I think this kind of emphasises what I was about to say. I think overtakes are going to more likely come from drivers making a mistake and another one capitalising, as Jason under pressure still from Dave, but Dave's not quite close enough to attack. So, yeah, I do think sort of being smooth and consistent is going to be more beneficial than fast and erratic.
Yep. As we see SGP speaking to his team on the wall, I think.
I think he might have been, yeah. I need some TP for me. What whole? So I'm sorry, folks. This is a serious championship, Dave. Take it serious. So I do apologise.
They probably try to see if Claire's got the nerve gun there.
Oh yeah, he could do. Yeah. You know what? We should have. Next time SGP ends up singing, we'll have to record it and then play it so everyone can hear how bad it is. Okay, so the front three pulling away a little bit at the moment. Jason and Dave the Arp broken a little bit away from SRI, or is SRI just catching back up to them? And then we've got a little bit of a gap to Bob, and then Gary, Rich, and Jimmy. Yeah, and should mention as well, actually, Jimmy, this is going to be his first race using a wheel. Or Davey's
looking for a move up the S's. Yeah. It can be done.
Aye, that it can.
And he's got it.
Ooh.
That's made Jason slow, so Jason might get overtaken by SRI. As we see Demon R and SGP battling into the hairpin.
Yep, side by side they go, and yeah, you're right. It did make Jason slow, which means he's now Jason. That's Jason slow. Come on, that was a good. I thought that was a good. Dave nearly clipped the wall.
Very close.
Yeah, Jason got a little sideways as well, and that's allowed SRI to get a bit of a run. So for our regular viewers, why don't you have a look and see how long's left in this race, folks? How long? Well, it's on.
SRI. I was close.
Good job he had some grip there.
Late on the brakes. I might have caught Dave the Harp off guard because now he's side by side.
Yeah, but Jason will get the benefit here because he's got the slipstream and the two cars behind have been able to close up quite quickly. That is the benefit of the boost. Nowhere really for Jason to go, but he is looking up the inside, but realises it's a bit too much to do on the brakes, so lets these guys go side by side. Oh, but that's put Gary up the inside of Jason, capitalising. Oh, and here comes Bob as well.
Bob.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so Jason sort of just not minded his own business, but he was just sort of playing the sensible game and got caught out a little bit there by Gary. And I mean, fair play to Gary, the space was there.
It's alright, going for a late apex to see if we can get the drive. Up here as we see Bob, Jason, Gary, and who's that? Is that Jimmy? Yeah, it's Jimmy.
Yes, it is. Jimmy is also in a dark green car. Apparently, his colour though is it's Jaguar green, not Aston Martin green. Dave the Arp and SRI thought they were going side by side up the S's. Dave made a move on Jason here last lap. SRI, Bob!
Oh, Bob!
Oh, Bobby! So yeah, all getting very excited. Up at the front on the pack cam, those front three are still close. Oh, Gary going for the move on Bob. Has he made it stick? Oh no, Bob's going for the switchback. And SRI trying one on Dave as well. Double side by sides. Oh, SRI backed out of it. Go on, Gary giving the room.
See, I was trying to see if Bob and that. Oh, SRI goes to that wall.
That was very close.
That's the difficulty, being that close up behind somebody. Yeah. You don't really see the corner.
Absolutely.
Oh, Dave the Harp trying to go defensive.
Yeah, he's trying to hold the tight line. SRI wasn't shifting. Gary's gone a little bit deep. That might not be too bad for Gary, though. He might end up getting a decent run at the end of the straight.
Yeah, the wider lines seem to work for Dave the Harp there. SRI just couldn't get on the power quick enough. As we see the three behind 3 side by side. Is somebody going to make it 4?
I think nah, they're not. No, they're going to go back down to 2. Oh, is that Jason defensive up the inside? No, it's Bob. Gary's gone too deep. Oh, he tried to go around the outside, couldn't quite. He's actually got ahead. Oh, controversial. Oh,
Team orders.
well, I don't know about team. I'm thinking, is he gaining a position by being off the... Well, no, he's not gained a position now, has he? Because Jason and Bob are now back ahead of him. So if there was any controversy there isn't any anymore. I should sort of quickly mention as well as Rich is closing in. Part of the DGT rules, I mean, for anyone that's been watching our videos lately, all you've seen is smashing and bashing and crashing. Just like we saw there.
Jason White.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason White. Bob and Gary side by side coming up the hill. Given plenty of room. Who's that on the grass?
Jason with
Is
his
that
dirty
Jason again?
Yeah, with his dirty tyres, got a bit wide. Yeah, so if you've been watching us recently, you've seen a lot of smashing and crashing. That's basically it's our Dirty Champ series, which is in what we would class as an off-season when the kids are off school. And this is back to the proper racing. And one of the rules is that if you do have a collision with someone or you unfairly overtake someone, you are to... He's done well to not hit the wall. Yeah, you slow down and you wait for them in the nearest safe place. And that way you can avoid getting any penalties. Although if you continually do it, you could find yourself getting a penalty. Dave Hart now defensive against SRI once again, just covering him off. But I think they're going to go side by side down the main straight now. Oh, Jimmy went a bit wide. SRI's ahead. It's interesting, the slightly wider line through turn 1 and being able to use all the width of the track, I think it allows for a faster acceleration out of that final corner.
Yeah, not turn 1, the final corner.
No.
You said turn 1.
Did I?
Dave the Hart looking to come back. Oh.
But it'll be the same. It'll be the same with this chicane though. If you're on the tighter line here, your car's going to wiggle, and then you're not going to get the power down. So it'll be interesting to see how the different runs go. So yeah, Dave's got a nice run here on SRI. SRI going slightly defensive, could compromise him in the kink. Dave's having a look, thinks better of it. Focus on the exit of the corner. Oh, they both had a little wobble then, didn't they?
Yeah, they both had a wee wonky donkey.
Aye, SGP missing the apex a little bit there. That's allowed Demon R to close back up. Demon R having to do a quick change of livery just before the race because apparently everybody's decided to go with a green car. Yeah.
I like that. That's quite striking, that one.
It looks all right with the lower bit of green removed, doesn't it? Because it does just look more white than green with a bit of white. But yeah, so now then the front three. I mean, Steve F1 is still there, not really putting any pressure on at the moment as they're making their way through Mitch's bomb hole. SRI still ahead of Dave the Hart, but not by a lot. Dave's got a little bit. Oh, I thought Steve was getting close to the wall. He was getting close, and he's dropped back a little bit, I think. There's Bob and Jason. Oh dear. Oh dear.
There was no contact there, was there?
I don't think so. No, I think Jimmy got caught up in that as well. But as mentioned a little while ago, this is Jimmy's first race on a wheel and pedals. And yeah.
What pedals?
Well, yeah. It's for someone that has no idea what it's like to race on a wheel. Being in a competitive event for the first time is nerve-wracking. Because it's the simple things like we mentioned, like with this first chicane, you may see drivers get a little wobble on the exit of the chicane. Well, Jimmy on a pad would know exactly what to do in that situation. Jimmy on a wheel is going to be experiencing things he's never experienced before. So it takes a while to get used to that, but also, as you mentioned, like what pedals. It may take him a while to get comfortable with this sitting position, how far away his pedals need to be, whether they need to be fixed or have the ability to be adjusted during the race. But yeah, so
need to hire a Oompa Loompa to hold his
feet.
pedals in place.
Yeah, well, that's what kids are for. So please, folks, don't use your kids
I don't
as
think-
pedal holders.
I don't think he's got any kids, has he? I'm not too
he
sure, I
has.
don't know.
He hasn't, no, but that's why Rich has got two now. The pedal holders. Oh dear. Okay, so SGP still leading the race. Interesting question for you, Ray. Why, you might not know the answer, but why in this championship has DGT decided to go with no tyre wear, no fuel wear, and laps instead of time?
So the no tyre wear and no fuel is just to get everybody comfortable, because we're on GT7 now. So everybody comfortable with the game and the racing. Plus we've just finished two dirty seasons in a row, so let people settle down, get comfortable, back to normal racing. And so that's why we don't want to add more pressure on them by their tyre wear and their fuel. So that's that one. What was the second part of that question?
We'll get to that in a moment, because we're 3 wide down into turn 1. 3 of the 4 green cars who could make it through. Oh, Bob managed to get slowed down, but Jimmy just tagged the back of him. Jason with a nice move. Lovely bit of driving from the 3 of them, to be fair there. Laps instead of time.
But when we do end up going to use fuel or tyre wear, some people can't get, pardon me, the grips of, right, how much fuel do I need for the remainder of the time? Where if it's in laps and they go, right, I've used this much fuel for this amount of laps, then this is kind of what I'm going to need for the next set of laps, remaining laps or whatever. So it's just to help out a wee bit more.
Okay, Demon R attacking SGP down into the hairpin. SGP on the tighter line. Let's see what we can see with the grip and the acceleration on the exit of the corner. Will the wider line for Demon R result in a fast? Yeah, it is. Look, you can tell he's already ahead. Ish.
Yeah, well, they're still side by side, but
yeah, giving each other plenty of room there. Nice to see. But that's allowed Steve F1 to close it. Ooh.
Yeah, they start getting dicey even more. That'll make Steve F1 right on the back end of SGP.
Absolutely, SGP.
It's be looking. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, definitely looking. He'll have a good run here, but saying that, so will Steve F1. On the pack cam, Bob going for a move on Jason, but Jason does a lovely little switchback as Bob slid straight on through. SGP's got a really good run here. I think Steve F1 may have a chance as well on, if these two go side by side through the kink here and into Demon's elbow. This could put Steve F1 right on him. SGP going for that really wide line into one for a switchback, into a double switchback, but it'll give a tighter line here, and it's not quite got the acceleration look.
No.
You sounded like the Hispanic cleaner or Family Guy then that goes, no. No.
But Steve F1 hasn't really
capitalised,
gained.
Has he? No.
Yeah. Them side by side. Maybe they need to do it. Maybe he's a wee bit more stronger through this sector and the last sector.
Quite possible.
It depends on strength on sector, but SGP a bit wide there.
He was, yeah. Steve F1 a little bit wide in the right-hander there. That's got him a little wobble on. SGP, interestingly, his little bit wide at the first part sent him wide at the exit as well. Steve F1's wide in the middle. It's not really hurt him too much, but it did compromise a little bit of the speed. We've got a cracking battle still going on here between green, and green. Bob is going to get it slowed down.
It's green grass. You know which one's grass.
And we don't mean snitch. No. SGP. Oh, he was close to the wall there. Okay, so we are on lap 9 of 12. SGP's actually got a decent run on Demon R, heading towards the final corner. He's up alongside. This is where if Demon R's sensible, yeah, he's not fighting it on the way in. Or SGP got a little bit of understeer there, maybe. Cool. Oh, but a wobble! Oh, that you.
A wobble, and that's going to let Demon R come up the inside, outside, whatever side you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, that literally instantly put Demon R back up alongside, just that split second of a wobble for SGP. But this is what I was saying earlier, that I can see this being like overtakes will come from when drivers make mistakes, or being not aggressive, but like Steve F1's hard on the brakes down there into turn one. I think he's just feeling the car and the track, you know, to see what he might be able to do when the opportunity arises. Jason battling with Bob on the pack cam right behind Dave the ARP. We're not seeing Dave and SRI for a while, but to be fair, they're only just a couple of seconds behind these three.
Yeah, I think they're about 5 seconds.
Okie doke.
Roughly.
Steve F1's close right in on SGP. So now we are on lap 10, and obviously I asked you why laps. And there's a good answer there about, SGP's missed an apex by a mile. The Titanic turns better than that, and it's half buried.
Is he going to keep it defensive here from Steve F1?
He is, yeah, he is.
Steve F1, I didn't really get much of a drive out of there, but let's see, is he going to throw it up the inside into the hairpin? No. Maybe. I thought he was. It just it looked like
it looked like it, but I think that was he had these wheels on the curb, didn't he, when he was on the brakes? And I'm aware that if you brake on the curbs in this car, it doesn't like it. So I don't think he was going for it. But yeah, so some of the drivers may find, SGP!
SGP!
Oh, I think his wing has just been shaved.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve F1's got him now.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to have a go after it now. Oh, there's SRI and Dave the Harp in the background.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing with these three battling the last couple of laps. And Demon R's pulled away a little bit now. Oh, Gary's just gone for a big move on Jason. Jason going for the switch back again. And he manages to do it. Oh, yeah.
Bob's following through. Oh, Bob just cut to back Jason there.
And interestingly, SGP is bump drafting Steve F1, I would guess, to try and catch back up a little bit to Demon R. But on the pack cam, he's getting real busy. Is SGP going for it? No, it's not. Ooh. I think there's 4 cars there in a little gaggle, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it's Gary, Bob, Jason, and it might be Jimmy as well.
Yeah, I think we may be about to go and have a look at it in a moment, or maybe not. So yeah, I keep trying to get us some more information out of you about the tyres. Oh, Demon R! That's a big error. We saw SGP have a little wobble earlier, and it cost him big time. That was a big wobble for Demon R. Steve F1. Oh!
Jesus!
If only
I thought he was going on the camera there.
If only he had a horn he could have used to let Demon R know he was there. Horns are banned, by the way, folks. Rich, the banned. I actually want to ask you about it. Why are horns banned?
It's for like the race video here. You don't want to be hearing horns going off all the time.
Like that, no. Especially especially when some of them have got some really dodgy horn sounds. But yeah, it is basically for the video, but also if you've got 40 minutes of someone honking a horn behind you, it's going to do your head in. Okay, SGP trying to catch back up to Steve F. Oh, that's not going to catch you back up. Oh, dear. Could this be a big turning point for SGP's race? So someone else has tagged the wall. I think it was Jimmy. So SRI and Dave the Ark, because SRI tagged the wall. Dave manages to get through. So SGP's little moment into the barrier has just thrown this race wide open. Up at the front is now down to 2, and then we've got a multiple car battle. Steve F1's on Demon R here. He's got a run. He's got a chance. Keep an eye on that pack cam for SRI and Dave the ARP. Oh, interesting. Oh,
yeah, I see what Steve F1's going to do. SRI's kind of side by side with Dave the ARP, but Dave the ARP's got the inside the line into turn 1 here. Let's see what's going to happen. Go back to the pack cam. Fuck it.
Interesting situation just happened at the front there. Demon R did not defend into turn 1, even though Steve F1 was right up his bumper. I wonder if that was tactical. SRI's having a look.
He's like, what way did I go? Left? Right?
Where did you come from?
Or
Where
is he
did you
gonna...
go?
He's staying out late. He's going for a late apex. Maybe try and get the drive. He done that the last time, and is he going to get him up the hill? Dave the Harp's defending the inside here.
That he is, side by side. There you go. And you don't really want to be on the outside here. It's dirty, and SRI has chosen not to be out there. Tucked back in. That would be a wise move to get the line here. The only problem is the car's behind. They're catching up. Oh, SGP. A little wobble on the curb, but he's got a run on SRI. SRI just closing the door.
Yeah, SGP go free wide. No, SRI is going to have to stay hard on the curb here.
Yeah, I think SRI could end up losing a position here to SGP with the tighter line, unless he can slot in. I don't think he can. There isn't a gap between. Oh, he just. Oh, that must have been very close for the. And here, as you said, if you're following a car, you can't see where you're going, so you get very close to the walls. And I can tell you, folks, if you're in a situation like SRI was then, you do shit yourself when you're going through there, because one moment you're fine, next moment you're seeing wall.
Yeah, Jason. Oh, SRI slide. Jason get ahead of SGP as they're still side by side. He's trying to get ahead.
That he is.
Now, who does SRI give the slipstream to?
Well, who does Dave the Harp give the slipstream to? He could move over and give it to Jason. Now, interestingly, if I was in Dave's position, I wouldn't defend this corner, and he isn't. Well, he's took a slightly tighter line. But yeah, I mean, there's sometimes where you can have cars close to you, but you're faster staying on the racing line and maximising the grip and the width of the track. And for Dave and SRI right now, that'd be a good thing to do. For SGP, he can't do that because if he doesn't cover the inside a bit, Jason has the chance of going for it. The problem for SGP is you cover the inside line a bit, you have a wobble, and now you got Jason all over your bumper going, I have some drawings of how to put this overtake together, and I go left here, and then I twist it a little bit to the right, and then I go up the inside. Thank you.
What he's just done. Oh, SGP on the red cup there. That's going to give him dirty tyres. Where'd Gary come from?
Gary ain't reading no instructions. He's opened the box, thrown those instructions away and gone, I think this fits in here, look. Ooh, it does. It does. It does. It doesn't.
He's still there, though.
Actually, he's done well there, actually. Dave and SRI getting close once again into the bomb hole. And this again is where, for Dave, stick to that racing line. Make it difficult for SRI. Oh, Dave with a little slide. Now, yeah, SRI's got to run. Yeah.
He's decided to take the inside line. Oh, I think they're both trying to force each other.
It's kind of like, I want a bit more of the road. I'm not letting you have any more of the road, which is absolutely fine. I will say.
Dave the Harp came back with a switchback. No, not yet, but he'll have the slipstream and possibly the better drive out that corner.
Yeah. So for SRI here, he could choose not to defend and see if Dave goes for it, or defend and potentially compromise himself. If he defends, let's see how he gets on with the exit. Yes, he's a little wobbly in the middle. Dave got a little wobble on, but Dave may get the better exit. Or actually, SRI has held on quite nicely. So the defending worked for SRI on that occasion. So nicely done on the pack cam behind SGP. He's now got Rich Blues behind him, who's got Bob behind him, as well as we've got 14 laps into this race. And we've got...
Yeah, SGP's not really making any ground for... since his incident, like he was keeping pace with Demon R. Now he's kind of like stuck.
Well, I'm wondering whether he's lost his mojo a little bit, because I mean he was with SRI and Dave the Art, but yeah, he's going to.
Are you calling him a fat bastard?
No, but he has. Yeah, I think one of the things for SGP at this moment as well is that he is kind of finding himself off the racing line quite a bit, which is compromising his pace. Oh, Bob got big time deep there. Someone else, it might have been Rich or Jimmy that got sideways on the braking. I think it might have been Jimmy. I could be wrong. But yeah. So SGP, if he's now looking in his mirrors and not on the racing line,
look at his times as well.
Oh, yeah. From 203s to then 204s, 205s, so 211, 204 and then 207.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he needs to get back into his rhythm, doesn't he? So this is one of those situations where I sort of mentioned it earlier that SGP needs to try and just focus on, I mean, all the drivers do, focus on being on the racing line, maximising that grip. If someone goes forward up the inside, so be it.
Yeah. Well, it does. It looked like a bit of a slide, but it's shot him to the right a wee bit. As we see, 2 by 2 by 2.
Yeah. Well, interestingly here, if Jason doesn't attack SGP, I think SGP gets a decent exit. The guys behind are battling, so they can open up a little bit. I think Gary just gave Bob a little bit of a nudge. That would probably mean that Gary's going to be... Oh, it was Jimmy, was it?
It was Jimmy.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it Jimmy giving Bob a nudge, or Gary giving Jimmy a nudge, or Jimmy giving Bob and Gary a nudge? I don't know.
Gary giving Jimmy a nudge. Well, on the exit, he was giving him a wee nudge. I don't know.
An old wink. But yeah, so let's see how this battle is going to go on. Because in the last lap, SGP and Jason have started to close in a bit on Dave the Arp and SRI. SRI pulling away from Dave the Arp a little bit. Jason's last lap was a 2:03.8. Previous was a 2:07. Oh, Jimmy! Oh, collects Bob. Oh. They're those little moments that I was on about where he's not used to whatever the wheel is telling him. He's not used to. What's the word?
Processing it.
That's it. Process. Fucking hell. Ray's correcting my word. Jesus. Right, where's my beer? Yeah.
Rich! Straight into the Harper hairpin wall.
Yeah. So Jimmy's not quite ready to process the information that's being given to him. It takes a bit of time. SGP and Jason side by side. Couldn't quite fit through there together. That's freed up Dave the Harp a little bit. Put Gary on the back of Jason as well. Oh, Rich! Spinning around.
It's in the wrong, mate.
Yeah. Excuse me. A couple of things.
I thought that was Conrad's song.
It could, yeah. Maybe Rich with a change of colour. I'm spinning around.
Well, once he took the gold top pants and made them yellow.
yeah, quite possibly. So Gary now with a decent run on the back of Jason. Jason will have a little bit of slipstream off SGP, but not a lot because the slipstream is not that effective off these cars because there isn't that much aeros on them. So Jason defending. Is Gary going to go deep? He's struggled a few times, and he is going to go deep. And he tags Jason.
Is he going to wait for him? Or is he? No, he buggered off.
Or is he just waiting? Is he waiting for the next safe place? Because I think if it was me, these corners aren't necessarily the safe place to let someone by, but up here wouldn't be a bad place.
Don't think I think he's still racing.
I think you might be right. Is he defending from Jason? Oh, he's going for the move on Bob.
Bob. You don't want to be out there, Bob.
I don't think he chose to be. I think Gary was a little too deep in that first corner.
Yeah, he kind of, first corner, he kind of was over the line. We use the curbs as well, so I wouldn't say it was necessarily off-track overtake, but when he came back on, he kind of nudged Jason wide at the exit of turn 1, turn 2.
Or Jason and Bob side by side. This could get tricky. Someone's got a penalty. It's Bob. Jason. No, the both of them.
You don't want to do that.
It looked like Jason sort of went to turn in for the corners, but Bob wasn't ready to turn in yet. Interesting. I mean, that may be something we'll have to look at on a G-Spot at some point. We ain't done one of them for a while. Very interesting situation there. I mean, it's possible that Gary didn't know as well that he'd nudged Jason on the exit of the corners, but yeah, have him if he's watching this now. Gary, you naughty boy. I mean, it's one of those things, I mean, as well, for anybody, if you're attempting an overtake and you go off the track and then complete said overtake, it's not really a fair overtake. So, yeah. Okay, what we got here, then SGP catching up to Dave the Hart with Gary catching up to SGP. Oh, no, he's not.
Oh, Gary!
This is where Jason comes around the corner and goes, you need to read the instructions. Jimmy in a battle now with Bob. Jimmy.
Here's the instructions for the track.
I tell you what, looking at sorry, these are Bob's lap times. I'd be interested to see Jimmy's lap times, right? Because I reckon Jimmy's lap times, with the boost, it might be like 203, 203, 212, 203, 209, 203. All over the place, because he'll have a couple of good laps and then make an error on because of the wheel. Another good lap, error on the wheel. That's what I would expect to see. Consistency is something that doesn't come instantly when jumping onto a wheel. What have we got?
We got SGP on the back of Dave the Harp, sticking about the 203, 204 mark now. So
improved his lap times then. We've got Jason and Gary right behind him. Jason just got ahead with a switchback into the hairpin. Can they get through here safely? Yeah, Gary just backing off a little bit through there. I don't blame him.
SGP loves that bloody wall.
Aye.
It gets quite close to it.
Oh, interesting. It really is closing up now on Dave Harp. I mean, you mentioned about his lap times. Yeah, last 3 laps, 2030, 2043, 2033. The 203s are the more relevant lap times. That's what I would expect the pace to be up at the front. So the question now would be, can Dave hold SGP off? Because we've only got 2 laps to go. 3 laps to go. A lap 18, 19 and 20. Now, you know why we've changed it from time to laps? There is still the possibility of confusion, because people go, well, it's 18, so there's only 2 laps. Well, no, there isn't. There's 3 laps. There's lap 18 to complete. Oh, Gary is... He nearly went off again, didn't he? But he's kept it tighter on the exit this time.
As we come down to the kink, what's he going to do? He's defending from Jason.
That he is. SGP had a
It's
good
kind
run
of
through
just
there.
went. Yeah, it's kind of just went.
Settled from.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Jason looking for a move. He's going in the outside. Is he going to try a switchback?
He is.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I think he was hoping
Try
Gary would
make-
have gone deep. Double switch.
Yeah.
We've got SGP going for the switch on Dave as well after the top of the hill. Jason's got the run on Gary. So we could have multiple.
I think he's just touched the rear end of him. He might have not. But they're side by side as they come down. Who's going to get the better run? The outside line, the inside line?
I think Dave may just hold on here, and I think Jason has just got ahead just a little bit. Oh, they're side by
Still side by side.
Giving each other plenty of room. Good to see.
That was closer to a corner
Oh,
cut there.
Jason!
Oh,
Holy
Jason.
cow! Oh, I think Jason just got caught out then. That's so unfortunate. I mean, SGP and Dave were side by side through there. It looked like Dave thought better off about going side by side through the final part. Oh, big Penno! SRI been cheating.
You got a penalty. And it's 2 laps to go.
Yeah, that could be massively costly, especially with SGP now behind him. But yeah,
He can, and with the new penalty system, he can lose it over the course of the race. He's got to serve it in one go at the penalty section.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what SRI needs to do now is get through this lap as quickly as possible. DMR still leading with Steve F1 not too far behind. We've got SRI in third, but how long for? Because I think that gap between SRI and SGP is less than a second and a half, and I think it's going to come down a bit. David Harp, then Gary, and then Gary big time sideways. And then Bob.
Done well to slow that down for that corner while he's gone sideways. There's Jimmy Jason and Rich.
Yeah.
What's on the side of his car over the wheel arch? I can't see it.
It's his name, innit?
Was it?
I don't know. I wasn't looking. SGP just had a big sideways moment on the curb there. Oh, is that Gary and Bob? Yes, it is. Oh, Bob's so close to beaching himself on the curb and not the sand. Funnily enough.
I wonder if there's a deck chair there for him as well.
There might be. Bob's gone a little bit deep, but may be able to get the power down. Oh, Gary wobbling again. I think Gary may be struggling with overheating the tyres a bit too much with a few too many slides and a few dirty moments. I mean, like, as in getting his tyres dirty. SGP rubbing that wall again. SRI will be serving his penalty now, which will put SGP past him, which it does. So yeah, I mean,
if the Harp would get him, maybe not. SRI might just be safe with this last corner.
Yeah, quite possibly. So Demon R has started the final lap of the race with Steve F1 right behind him. Then we've got this battle for third place where everyone is starting to sort of congregate back together a little bit. Is that Gary and Bob still side by side? I believe it is, with Jason closing in on them.
Yeah, they're all starting to congeal back together.
Okay,
As
so Gary is ahead of Bob. Now here comes Jason. Oh, yeah.
What's Jason going to do? Is he going to go around the outside of the kink, or is he just going to wait and pounce at the hairpin?
As I said, I'd look at a switchback here. Wide entry, switch back on one of them here, get up alongside them. Oh, he hasn't quite, he didn't quite get his nose ahead, but if he has a look up the inside now, this could be interesting. Gary could end up going straight on a bit. We've gone to the leaders, so maybe the pack cam will the pack cam cut to what we were watching? Nope. Okay, so, interesting, Steve F1 has really closed the gap in on Demon R. Oh, the pack, yeah, we didn't see what happened, but I think we saw somebody in the gravel there.
Jason and Bob, by side of that?
That they are. Demon R and Steve F1 through the bomb hole for the final time. And that I'm wondering if Demon R's been trying to take it easier.
We've lost Gary. Gary was with them. He's not
there. He was in the gravel at the top of the hill. So Steve F1, can he do anything about Demon R into the final corner? It's close, but I don't think it's going to be close enough. He's trying to push it on the brakes. The gap is coming down. It's going to be a drag race to the line then, as we've still got somebody side by side on the pack cam behind Dave the Arm.
Jason and Bob.
That it is, but it looks like Demon R is going to take the victory in the Toyota Juniors with Steve F1 right off his chuff. SGP somehow gets back to third place, and because of the consistency of his lap times. Stingray, SRI, that's fourth place for him. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Dave the Arm finishes ahead of Jason, Bob, Rich Blues, and Jimmy. And then formerly Gary. So, yeah, we didn't get to see what happened up over the hill. We saw them sort of the hill, and it was going to get interesting, but didn't quite cover it. So maybe we'll did happen there. But one go to June and everyone was thinking not again, surely. Well, this isn't actually is the free stewarding race result. Also means in a moment free that result. Now, there was one report that he comes to your common potatoes. But yeah, so what do we make of that one then, Ray? Ow.
Yeah, it was quite busy. Some busy, but a fantastic turnout. 10 people, we know. Art Pal was on holiday. Twilight was looking to save the Barry gets his hot shower.
Yep.
Every day, so they two we didn't have. But not heard for Hay or Conrad.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, a couple of drivers missing there, obviously, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes sometimes.
How the cookie crumbles.
That it is. Okay, there is a couple of things I do want to kind of sort of mention or sort of comment about. Regarding the G-Spot, you know, I hadn't even thought about whether we were going to be doing any G-Spot stuff. If we decide to, it won't be this week that anything comes out. It will be. But what I will mention as well, we talked a little bit during that race about how we're gone to laps rather than time. The amount of laps has broadly been calculated so the races will last about 40 minutes. It may be a little quicker, it may be a little slower, but it's going to be around about 40 minutes. But as Ray said, it is there so that when we do go to using fuel and tyres, the drivers are going to have it a little bit easier to calculate, right, what fuel do I need? Now, some people may say, well, why would you want to make it easier? Well, without confirming or denying anything, there are other features on this game that the drivers will have to also think about. So things like potentially pit exit penalties, because if you mess up your pit entry and your pit exit, that's a 6-second penalty, 3 each time. There's also the potential of weather to consider. So as a driver is coming into the pits to begin with, we don't want them to be having to think, oh, how much fuel do I need? Do I need my wet tyres or my inter tyres or my dry tyres or any tyres? Do I have to repair any damage? So there could be other things that come into play. So like you said, Ray, with this first championship, it is literally just an all-out race to the finish for the drivers to get used to some of the features of the game, but also we're still in that situation of like making sure that the game works properly.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. Even though it's been over a year since it was made, still bits and bobs of it still needing tweaked.
Yeah, definitely.
For the game, which I find a wee bit shocking, especially from
a company as big as Polyphony.
Yeah.
I mean, something else I want to mention as well is, obviously, in this race, we didn't have, it wasn't like it was frantic action all the way through. But it could just be a feature of the car at that track. All the drivers know the DGT Seaside track's one of the reasons why we like to use it first in the championship series, because the drivers know it. They don't have to learn the track in a new car. They can learn the car on a track they know. So when we go to the next track, which is a very, very different racetrack, it could be a completely different scenario. Because, I mean, you think about Seaside, is there any heavy braking zones? Well, there's one really heavy down into the hairpin. The rest of it is fairly medium, high speed, a few S's. But the next track we're going to has at least 2 or 3 heavy braking zones, a lot of slow, twisty corners. So it'll be interesting to see how the cars and the drivers cope with that track. Anything else that you might want to add or mention there, Ray? No. Okay, I've just got one last bit of information for you, which is, how do you surprise a blind man?
Wave?
No, leave a plunger in the toilet.
Bugger.
Okay.
Good evil.
Yeah. And on that note, thank you for watching, folks. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and we shall see you soon for round 2 of the Toyota Juniors. Have a good one, everybody. See you later.
Ta-da.